Hi you guys, my book family, how you doing? Happy Saturday. It is Saturday today, and in today's video I will be taking you along with me while I cook, while I go do some groceries, and I'm planning to stop at a little library. I saw one around my neighborhood and I've never paid attention to it until I noticed a couple of people actually, doing those little videos where they stop at a little library and give some books away, or sometimes grab some books if there are any that are of interest to them. So that's what we will be doing. But also, as I said, I'll be cooking today and I will be sharing with you guys the books that I've read so far. I'll tell you a little bit more about it at some point in the video. So come. Alright you guys, so before I head out, I wanted to show you the books that I will be giving away and the reasons why I'm giving them away. So these are all the books that I'll be giving away and they're all new. I had ordered them from booklet.com website, and the reason why I'm giving them away is simply because I have double. I don't know what happened, but either I made a mistake or they made a mistake and sent me twice the book, so I thought I'd be giving them away. So we have Remembered by Yvonne Battle Felton. I have yet to read this book, but it is in my long pile of books to read this year. It is 1910 and Philadelphia is burning. The last place Spring wants to be is in the college section of a hospital, surrounded by the groans of the sick and the ghost of her sister. But as her son Edward lies dying, she has no other choice. Time is running out and Spring must find a way to get through to Edward. This could be her last chance to tell him the story of their family and the truth of how he came to be. Interesting. And then there's this particular book, Decent People by Deshaun Charles Winslow. I remember the reason why I had picked this book was because of Cozy Comfy. She had mentioned this book and she enjoyed it sometime, I think last year. And then we have this book. It's The Scent of Burnt Flowers by Blitz Bazaoule. What is this book about? When the windshield of his Chevy Impala is shattered in a dark dinner parking lot in Alabama, Melvin moves without thinking. A split-second reaction mars in his bones from the days of war, but this time it is the safety of his fiancée Bernadette at stake. Impulse keeps them alive, and yet they flee with blood on their hands. What is life now that they are fugitives? Packed passports, empty bank accounts, set their old life on fire. The couple disguise themselves as a pastor and a reluctant pastor's wife who's hiding a secret from her fiancé. With a persistent FBI agent on their trail, they travel to Ghana to seek the help of an old college friend of Melvin's who happens to be Kwame Nkrumah, the country's embattled president. Okay, now I remember why I picked this book, so I'll be giving this away. And you guys heard me talk about this book in my wrap-up. Not my wrap-up, but it was part of the books that I read for the month of February. And it was an okay book. It didn't really grip me as those slave narratives books usually do. I'm not sure, but... And then we have this book, We Are Not Like Them. And this one, it's told from alternating perspectives. We Are Not Like Them is a riveting and compassionate novel about the lifelong bond between two women, one black and one white, whose friendship is indelibly altered by a tragic event. Jen and Riley have been best friends since kindergarten. As adults, they remain as close as sisters, though their lives have gone in different directions. Jen married young and after years of trying is finally pregnant. Riley pursued her childhood dream of being a television journalist and is poised to become one of the first black female anchors of the top news channel in their hometown of Philadelphia. But the deep connection they share is severely tested when Jen's husband, a city police officer, is involved in the shooting of an unarmed black teenager. Well, yeah, you know why. There you have it. And the last book, which is so beautiful, look at this cover. The Book of Everlasting Things. I love the purple and the gold foil here. On a January morning in 1938, Samir Vij first locks eyes with Firdos Khan threw the rows of perfume bottles in his family's guitar shop in Lahore. My gosh, those were such hard words and names. Over the years that follow, the perfumer's apprentice and calligrapher's apprentice fall in love with their ancient crafts and with each other, dreaming of the life they will one day share. But as the struggle for Indian independence gathers force, their beloved city is ravaged by partition. Suddenly, they find themselves on opposite sides. Samir Hindu becomes Indian and Firdos Muslim becomes Pakistani. Their love now forbidden. Severed from each other, Samir and Firdos make a series of fateful decisions that will change the course of their lives and echo through generations to come. Well, that tells you why I picked the book. Obviously, forbidden love and set in India during whatever era. Well, I can't wait to actually read that book. So there you have it. Those will be the books that I will be giving away there. Cool. All right, let's go. You guys, look, I actually got a package. Okay, let me just turn this over here this way. So you guys, I just got a package. The guy just dropped it. So let me just open it in front of you guys so you can see what I've ordered. And by the way, I am working on a video where I will be showing all the books that I bought so far. I wanted to finish all the books that I bought last year, but have been buying books. Not a lot.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man? Bro, I'm out, man. That nigga's tripping.
No, just like one here, two here, three here. And remember, there were some new releases that I wanted to read, so I had to obviously get them. But anyways, let's see what's in here. I heard so much about this book. Winter. It's The Rage of Dragons. I heard, was it Chocolate? I'll put her name here, but she spoke about this book. And I have been reading some fantasy books, notably by Sarah J. Maas and Rebecca Yarros. And I'm looking to read more books by Black authors in the fantasy world. So she suggested this one and she enjoyed it. So I want to get to it. I'm hoping to read it in May. We'll see, but there you have it. Okay, you guys, so let's go give those books away. So right now it's currently 2 p.m. It's cloudy outside. I am rocking my wifey shirt. Also, you guys noticed I undid my twists, and now I have a little dilemma. I'm trying to see if I will let my hair grow, or basically let the hair color grow out, or do I want to retouch my roots? I don't know. So let's see. Okay, we're nearing our first little library. I think I might just put like 2-3 books here. Okay. All right, you guys, so let's go. There it is. There's a little library. Look at these books. Oh, geez. Oh, James Patterson. We're going to the next little library. Just need to find a parking. Yeah, I'm just gonna park behind here. Hey, what's in here? Just some old books that literally no one reads. And there you have it, the last 3 books. I'm gonna put them. So I ripped it because I was trying to push it there, but this one won't fit, it's too big. So there you have it. Okay. Now we're done. Now we're gonna go grocery shopping. All right, you guys, welcome to my kitchen. My kitchen without borders. Oh yeah, okay. You saw what I did right there, right? Okay. So before I actually start my real cooking, I'm actually gonna do pizza for the kids so that they could eat, not be hungry, and leave me alone, right? So without further ado, I'll show you how I make a quick pizza. I'm gonna grab the dough. I have the tomato paste, pizza sauce. I have 3 of them. Then I have the smoked ham, and then pepperoni. Yes, please. see. Let's get to building our pizza. And I actually have the bacon on the grill there because my kids be meat lovers. I don't know about yours, but my kids, they love their meat. They're like their dad. I could live without meat, but my husband, I don't know. And his kids, sorry guys, it's Saturday and everybody's at home, so. I've always wondered what's so special about this pizza sauce. Isn't it just regular tomato paste? Like, y'all need to do this because it saves you money. I'm gonna start with the pepperoni. I think that's enough. Pepperoni. What do y'all think? Y'all can see? I mean, with this tomato paste. Look at that. Not bad, eh? Okay. You want meat? Go. Let's go. Nice meeting you. That's my baby joke. Get it? M-E-A-T. Meeting you, Libra. Let me tell you this, but my husband actually likes to make jokes and I actually have a notepad where I've written all his jokes. Now, some of them are not really, I can't share them with you, but I'm telling you. He does have jokes sometimes. Outside of his daddy jokes, he got jokes. So the bacon is sizzling. We're gonna wait for the bacon, but for now this is done. I'm gonna turn on the oven. Have some bacon bits here. I'm just gonna cut them pieces. If this is enough meat, not enough meat, I don't know what is. But that's not how they eat every day. It's just like those rare times when I'm like, I don't want to be spending money, order in, and plus the food that I'm about to make is gonna take some time, so might as well do something that will keep their appetite at bay. Ta-da! So I'm gonna leave it there for maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes, until like it's golden and the cheese has melted, and then it's ready. There you have it, guys. The pizza is ready. We're just gonna let it sit so that it doesn't burn their mouth, but there you have it. Bam! Also, you guys, today is the NBA playoffs, and although I don't really follow that religiously, Bay does, so he's pretty excited about that, and he is having friends over, so you know, pretty cool. So while the pizza is cooking in the oven, Bay and I have started marinating our fish, so let me show you. All right, you guys, so we're making red snapper, and Bay has already put lemon and all that stuff. Here are the ingredients that he's gonna put. Yo, I told you guys, I married a chef. If y'all didn't know before, now y'all know. Maybe we'll just start a cooking channel. What y'all think? Oh, I'm salivating. I'm hungry. Ah! We're gonna also make chicken. We're gonna use the same ingredients that we used for the fish, but I'm gonna add ground nutmeg. Gonna barbecue because obviously it's gonna go onto the barbecue, and then this one. There you go. All right. Welcome back. Anyway, so I have here the ingredients that are needed to make the jollof rice. So I have Ghanaian friends, Nigerian friends, and every time they make their jollof rice, I'm always in love with that food, you know? And as I mentioned before, you guys, in my quest of wanting to discover books and authors from the motherland, the African continent, I'm also on a quest to discover good food from countries within the African continent. Jollof rice is one of those where it's such a comfort food, the way it's made, and obviously there's the Nigerian version, the Ghanaian version. Oh, there's also Senegalese jollof rice. Not sure which version I'm going for, but they're pretty similar, you know? Okay, so as I said, first thing I'm gonna cut the ingredients, and then I'm gonna put them in a pan, cover it with a sheet, and then roast them for a while before I grind the stuff, okay? All right, stay tuned. So I have a bunch of plantains here. They're pretty ripe, so we like them not too mushy but sugary enough. I'm just gonna cut them this way. They're roasted. I'm gonna blend them now, so I'm just gonna put them in the blender. I'm just starting my tomato paste here. I already put my salt, my chicken broth, nutmeg, some dry spices. So that should be good for now. And I'm gonna let it boil, and then I'm gonna add the other ingredients that I grinded, that I blended. Now I'm putting the rice in the sauce. It's been boiling for a while. I think it's ready. Stir it. Wish me luck, you guys. My jollof rice. Yep. So this is the red snapper. First thing, we're gonna grill it to give it that color, and then we're gonna smoke it. Yeah, baby. So remember how earlier it was cloudy? Now it's beautiful and it's sunny and the sun is in my face and I love it. Remember all my videos from last year when I would film outside in the sun and all that? I miss that. So right now I'm like in my backyard and it's definitely not ready. Like we haven't started doing anything, you know? Spring is being tardy. I haven't put out the chairs and I'm working on it. But I thought I would review a bit of the books that I read so far in the month of April. So without further ado, I was trying to ta-da! Now I only read 3 books so far. I'm currently listening to 1, which I will talk about, and reading physically this one. So I finished reading these 3 books, which are the books I will be talking to you about, and I am currently listening to The Silent Woman. I forgot the author's name, but I'll put her book cover right here. And then currently reading Queen of Exiles by Vanessa Riley, because y'all know that my jam is historical fiction. These are not it. There's a fantasy book, there's a thriller, and there is a regular YA book or young adult, which is YA, right? So I miss historical fiction, so that's why I needed to pick up this one like as soon as possible. Okay, without further ado, I'm gonna start with this book. Now y'all don't come for me. I have feelings, I have thoughts on Honey and Spice by Bolu Babalola. And it's so funny because I didn't think I had read a book by this author until I looked at my shelf and it said the author of Love in Color, and I owned that book. I was like, what? So I know this author, right? Anyways, so Honey and Spice. Okay, we're talking about Kiki and what's her boyfriend? What's his name? Okay, it's Malachi. Okay, Malachi. Alrighty, guys, let me put this down. Okay, I want to be comfortable. So when I started reading the book, I was intrigued, but what caught me off guard was the language. You know, I thought Kiki just had a potty mouth. The way she spoke was just too, I'm not gonna say too urban, you know, like I don't know, this is how I speak. And even when I was young, I spoke like this. Sometimes I will throw like, you know, a cuss word here and there, but I don't think I've been one of those that a whole sentence has to be fuck this, fuck that, or, you know, like whatever. But anyway, so just to say that just kind of was a turn off for me, you know, at the beginning. But as soon as I discovered Kiki's personality throughout the book, I warmed up a bit to her, you know, even the way she spoke. Because even when she started getting to know Malachi, I was like, okay, slim it down, like slow down that whole potty mouth. Like you don't need to be that aggressive. I found her, she was very verbally aggressive, but that's how she spoke, you know. And as people will tell you, that her entourage and maybe the age, I believe she was 18 years old, because Malachi is 18, so she's either younger or about that same age. So the story is that they're going to this university, and it is in London. The story is set in London, and Kiki is the host of this radio show. It's called Brown Sugar. think it's Brown Sugar. And there she talks to the young ladies, most especially black girls, of how to handle relationships. She's actually an expert in relationship per se. Although she's 18, you don't think she has a whole repertoire of experiences, but you know, people follow her in that school, at that university, and she is known to not date because she is about warning ladies to not go out with players, or even if you're going out with players, how to handle them. And she usually gives advice about certain conversations. You know how sometimes the conversation will start, we need to talk. She tells the lady how to handle, be on top of that conversation, not let it, run away from you, all that kind of stuff. So the whole thing is that she meets Malachi. Malachi is this new man. He comes to this university, and he is very handsome. Like, we talking about tall. He's also Nigerian. He's black and beautiful, and we love that. Okay, and obviously the ladies have noticed him. But then something comes up. She is actually seeing this other guy. At the beginning of the book, she calls him my man, my man or something like that. She hears about this guy Malachi, and she's hearing about how the ladies are like swooning over Malachi. Long story short, she has this other thing that she also hosts. Is it Freaky Friday? No, it's not Freaky Friday. It's this club that her and her other friend are responsible for. It's where, students get together and they dance. It's basically a club. So she gets to that club one day, and she meets this Malachi that she's been hearing about on campus, or at the university, at uni, as they say. As I mentioned at the beginning, she's seeing this other guy, but she's over him. She breaks up with him, and she doesn't want anything to do with this guy. But then this guy is very obsessed with her, to the point where at the club, he tries to get to her, he tries to talk to her and all that stuff. So what she decides, she goes to see Malachi. He's hanging out with his friends, and she decides to kiss him, or asks him to kiss him. And literally they kiss each other, and they don't know each other, right? But I want to say this, I want to rectify this. They did meet in the hallway of the school, and they briefly had a conversation, and that's literally that first encounter. That's it. So at the club, when they're kissing each other, she's doing that to let her ex know that we're done, we're over, like, stop, guys, I'm cold, but just for the atmosphere, for the vibe, okay, we're gonna do this, okay? So anyways, so she decided that she's gonna kiss Malachi so that the guy can get the message, okay? Long story short, they struck up a conversation, they talk, and then at some point, her friend, who's responsible for Brown Sugar, she's also like, I guess she's the manager, she's the host and she's the manager. She comes to see her, and she's like, they gotta go. And long story short, there's a little fight between her and Malachi, and then they go their separate ways. Then she goes to see her counselor. Her counselor is like, okay, I need you to meet this other person because, you're responsible for Brown Sugar. It's like, it's really hitting off, and I need you to, like, push your boundaries, like, go further. So in order for you to do that, I need you to work with this guy. And lo and behold, it's Malachi. Malachi wants to be a producer, a movie star, all that good jazz. So they get together, and then he's like, I'm gonna help you do your movie thing as long as you pretend to be my boyfriend. Ta-da, that's the trope, fake dating. There's the trope, fake dating. And not to give too much, they start fake dating, and while they're fake dating, real things kind of develop between them. And it's so cute. It's really cute. They develop feelings for each other, and she learns a lot of things about Malachi, and he learns things about her. And I wanted to read you guys a few quotes that I found interesting, actually, before I conclude this. So what was I saying? Okay, so let's start here. So this time she's talking about, this is in London, you guys, and she's talking about how sometimes in clubs, that whole how white people they love black culture, and at some point she talks about that, how white people love black culture, but obviously they don't want the whole struggle and things like that, and she brings it into the club. And here she says, there needed to be just enough niggas Can't drink said it, and therefore so could they. In the club to make them feel cool. Enough doted around so they could feel diverse. Enough black guys for white girls to say, everyone tells me I dance like a black girl. Enough black girls for white guys to proclaim with jagger bomb spiked breath that they ain't never kissed a black girl before, like you were the lucky one. Something like the Princess and the Frog, except the black girl would remain the exotic curiosity and the white guy would feel transformed into something elevated, something unique, perhaps a little dangerously deviant. They needed just enough blacks in the club to make them feel cool. Too many blacks, however, that was going too far. Too much black would make them feel too white. So I needed to say that she did make enough commentaries, social commentaries that pertain to certain struggles that were happening in societies. This is UK, London, wherever blacks are, there's still the same issues being found whenever white people are involved. But hey, other than that, like I said, the story between Malachi and Kiki was very cute. I did find it funny. Like, I had moments where I was laughing. Like, she could make jokes. Like her relationship with Malachi, like the way they would share jokes and just talk to each other, I did find it funny and cute and adorable. But as I said, sometimes it was just like, ooh, you bit too much. Simmer down, young lady, okay? But anyways, other than that, like Honey and Spice, I enjoyed it. I'm glad I finally read it because I know a lot of people had read the book. So pick it up if you haven't. And I'm gonna give this 3.5 out of 5. It was cute. One more book to go. We got this. One more book to go. So we have Sarah J. Maas, House of Sky and Breath, a Crescent City novel. Yeah, I finished this book. I got thoughts. Of course I have thoughts. Now, the first one, in a series, the first books are always like the hook, they get you, the first books are always like, yes, oh my gosh, I'm excited for the next one. Now, this one, it was good. It wasn't like the first one. It was good. It had me interested. And in this particular book, the second book, we still follow Bryce and Hunt and Ruin. Ruin is her brother, because she's half Fae and Ruin is Fae. And we follow a bunch of other characters. Therian, who's like a mare, that's how they call him, like he lives in the water, and all those shapeshifters. And we have some dark lords, Apollyon and underworld people, a bunch of things. But the main story, the way it starts, we have Sophie. Sophie is this girl who has a lot, she has these powers that are very sought out by the creatures of Crescent City, the Veneers, all those people. And what happens is that at the beginning, she's looking to save her little brother, who apparently also has the same power, and she has to save him. But long story behold, she disappears, basically, she disappears. And then we have Bryce. The way Bryce comes into the story, she hears about Therian. Therian lives in the water, and he's sent by the Queen of the Water. She tells Therian that you need to find this Sophie because we need her power. Okay, so Therian obviously knows Bryce, knows Hunter, knows Ethan. Ethan is actually a wolf, a shapeshifter. He was the brother of Connor in the first book. Remember Danica and her wolf pack? Yeah, they were part of that wolf pack in the same. So now they're like this group of people. You have Hunt, Ruin, Ethan, Therian, and this man, what's his name? Cormac. Yes, Cormac. There are these bunch of just misfits, a bunch of shapeshifter, and they all have a bunch of powers, and they get together. So Therian comes to Bryce and tells her that I'm looking for this young boy and Sophie. The queen needs their power. She needs to find them. So Bryce, y'all know Bryce. I introduced Bryce in the first book. She's this half fae, half human. She came into her full power in the first book. Now she's this powerful princess because she is the daughter of the King Fae. So she's like, okay, you guys are searching for a son and Sophie, so she's gonna get involved. Bryce shouldn't have That's Bryce. She gets involved, and her and Hunter or Athalar, you know, as they call the fallen angel, they're together. Now, what I want to say about this particular story is that, remember in the first one, Bryce and Hunt don't really get it, like they don't really mate, you know, fully. But in this one, they literally are animals. Figuratively, no. Literally, they are animals. Like they mate like animals all the time. There was one scene I have to talk about this because, you know, I got no shame. They are at the gym. Obviously, they're working out and all of that stuff. And then she just finished sweating. And that's the time that Hunt decides that he's gonna take her, I think, fully for the first time. Not really fully consummate. But that scene was hard, but it was like, yo, you just sweated. Like, who does that? You know? But anyways, there was a lot of lovemaking. That was actually very good. I enjoyed that because, as I said, in the first one, there was nothing. So there was enough smut that kept me interested. So anyways, as I said, Bryce, Hunt, and that whole group of people are now they embark on that journey to go find Sophie and the little boy. And that journey will take them in many places, including in the underworld, including in like weird places, and they will meet different creatures. Like, it was a bit confusing. You know, the fantasy world, what makes it feel so fantastical is the multiple characters, the complex characters. And boy, oh boy, there was a lot of characters. Like, Ruin had his own story to tell. Like, he met this, what is she would come to him in like dreams or something. Her name is Day or something like that. And then there was Bryce and Hunt, and then there was Ethan that discovered that there was another wolf that was being kept imprisoned somewhere else, like Mystics or something. Like, yo, I don't want to confuse you, but like I said, just trust me, there was a lot of things. So come to find out that something happens to Sophie, and then Bryce now has to be the others that are looking for that boy, to find that boy, because he holds some extreme power. Or does he? I know. If y'all haven't read the book, y'all gotta find out. So she has to go and find that boy before all the others find him. But at the same time, she's also discovering that there's a war that's being prepared. Like a war on the world, and they're getting prepared to take the Asteri, because the Asteri have taken over, and they're they're the most powerful ones, you know. And there's a war that's being prepared against them, underworld. Okay, and I just want to say the end was like, okay, what's going on? So I don't want to ruin the end, but Bryce finds herself in a place, and there she's looking for the Lord of that world. Okay, that's how, I'm not saying like, but anyways, I'm not gonna say too much, but that's it. So that was the story of Bryce in the second book. I'm gonna rate this like 4.5 out of 5. Again, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't like, oh my god, but it was good. You know, it was good. Like, I would recommend you guys to read it. Okay. And finally, I read this book because lately I've been feeling like reading thrillers. This was actually the first book I picked for the month of April. As in, I started reading this at the beginning of April. So it's The Last Guest by J.P. Pomare. And this story is, we start with Lena. Yes. So it's the story of this married couple, okay? And the way it starts is that Lena and Kane, they seem like a normal, regular couple, right? But the only thing is that Lena, she goes out and seeks outside marital activities. Actually, she meets this guy at a restaurant. He works for the ambulance. Yeah. So Lena works for the ambulance. So she comes out of work, decides that she's gonna meet this person, changes clothes, you know, she's looking sexy, and they struck up a conversation at the club, you know, they're getting to know each other, and she has ulterior motives, right, while she's meeting this man. And you're gonna learn throughout the story why she even did that. So something happens, they sleep together, and she's done, right? She's done, no problem. But now, what comes to Hunter to bite her in the ass? Because don't ever think that you're gonna do something like that, jeopardize your marriage, and think that you're gonna get away with it. Not even in a story, not even in a fictional story. No. Okay, you can never cheat on your and think that you're gonna get away. So while that story is happening with Lena, then you have another aspect of the book where there's this part where it's called p hole. So p hole transmission. So you have this little sign, okay? So p-hole transmission is basically people who are subscribed to this channel and they're looking at people live living their life. Like, so there's this person who goes either into hotels or houses, installs these tiny cameras placed in like the whole house or the hotel, and the people who go there are not aware that there are these cameras, hidden cameras. So they're just doing their stuff. Some of them are obviously having sex or using the bathroom, and these bunch of nasty people are just there looking, right? Long story short, Lena, what happened with her is that she forgot her chain, right? And then her husband, sees her and he's like, oh, by the way, what happened to was it a wedding? No, a wedding. Her wedding ring. He's like, where's your wedding ring? He's like, uh-oh. She remembers now that she forgot at that guy's place when they were having, I guess, sex and all that stuff. So she's like, oh, I forgot it at work and things like that. And lo and behold, that guy starts to like send her messages, and she's thinking like she did everything to hide her tracks. She thinks she's been very vigilant, very careful, but no. That guy has her number, and then at some point he sends her picture of her like in the room and stuff like that. And she's like, oh my gosh, like what's going on, and she tries to get in touch with him to be like, okay, let's meet up, or not meet up, because she doesn't want to meet up, because she's thinking that this guy wants to have more when she just wanted one night stand and all that stuff. And without spoiling the story, there's a reason why she actually went to get this guy. They have been having marital problems, not really marital problems, but she's been trying to have a child, and they had a kid, but something happened to the kid. I'm gonna leave it at that. So when this guy is like sending her all these pictures, and she's worried that her husband is gonna like find out, like now she tries to do what she has to do in order to stop that by get a hold of the ring. And at some point, what she does, she's like, okay, obviously I'm not gonna get my ring back, so I'm just gonna go and find a ring and replicate it. Like your husband won't know. Yeah. There was a twist in that story. Like it was interesting. Like, I don't know if I saw it coming, but I don't think I was shocked, right? Because something happens. She goes, they have a lake house, I guess you could say, lake house. And it's her parents' house, Lena's parents' house, and she wants to keep the house. So the guy decides that they're gonna make that house into, how do they call it? They had a specific word for that, where people would rent the place and kind of stay there for whatever vacation, right? So they decide to renovate the house or fix it up a little bit so they could rent it out. And one thing leads to another. One of these days she goes there with her husband, and they are accosted and kidnapped within the house. And from that point on, things go down, and the end is it's not epic, but the end is like, oh, what? Just know that the husband is not as innocent as you would have thought, and the cheating is not excused, but just read the story. So you guys, anyways, like I said, it was a good story. It wasn't like that spectacular, so it's gonna be a 3 out of 5 for me. That's it. So would I recommend it? I mean, if you like thrillers and yeah, sure. Okay. And currently I am reading Queen of Exiles by Vanessa Riley. I'm still at the beginning. As you can see, I'm still there. I don't have much to say, but it's slow right now. I'm getting to know. Obviously, the story is set in Haiti with Queen Louise. Okay, and right now the story, the way it starts, that she's exiled in France or somewhere in Europe. Okay, and then she's talking and reminiscing about the war in Haiti. Okay, what's going on? Who she's had to leave, the kids, and basically she's talking about what she left and who she left in Haiti. So that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I know so far. And there you have it, you guys. So I'm gonna go back and check on the stuff and make sure that it's not burnt. Okay. All right, you guys. So I'm ready to taste. Y'all ready to taste with me? Let's go. Okay. take a bite of the fish. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. A bit of the cucumber. That acidity. It's and all these sweet plantains. Let's see. And the jollof rice now. Moment of truth, guys. To all my Nigerians, my Ghanaians, let's go. This is for you. Look at it. The spice. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's spicy. It's spicy. Okay. This is a nice grill. Ooh, let's see the. Oh yeah. Look at that, you guys.